Welcome to the morning after wild card week, sort of, I guess, afternoon after at this point in time. Back here, of course, with my co-host Emma, who has some exciting news. Her teacher gave her a small little gift today in her student packet pickup, so she's excited. Very excited, right? Almost as excited as you are for Christmas. We'll get right into the action. First of all, Dr. Dangerous, in his first ever playoff appearance in the CFFL, took down the Bruisers 67-52.5. Led by Miles Sanders, who had 19.5. Nick Chubb also had a good day on Monday night. Tyreek Hill had 17, not enough for the Bruisers as they fall. Badgers take down Little Big Men, 81-46.5. Derrick Henry exploded for 24.5 points. Little Big Men really didn't have a shot after that, with his running backs being pretty much non-existent. Stephon Diggs did have 13 points. In the battle, the two teams who could advance in the consolation round and the two teams that would then go into the losers bracket 2-week humiliation toilet bowl, it was the Minotaurs taking down the Gargoyles 74.5 to 61.5, and the Horn Dogs taking down the Sasquatches 77.5 to 54.5. And then the other game to set up the consolation round, the Dingles tied the In Rogers We Trust, so the Dingles will then take on the lower seeds. The Dingles will play the Horn Dogs next week, with the winner advancing to the OK Bowl, and In Rogers We Trust again taking on Minotaurs, with again the winners advancing to the OK Bowl. Consolation round last year was won by Scott. In Rogers We Trust has never won it. The Black Dingoes have, and Minotaurs have also never won it. So we might 50-50 chance we'll have a new winner in the OK Bowl. Prize money, the new ones here, the Little Big Men and the Bruisers will play for an additional 20 to each one, $30 so far. The winner of their game next week for 5th place will win an additional 20. Dr. Dangerous, Bites His Badgers, Team Price is Right, and myself have each won at least 75. They'll win an additional 125 if they win this week. So that's what happened this week. Now we'll get into the All Fantasy team, and the next week will be the Fantasy Honors. Into Quarterback of the Year, Kyler Murray had 19.8 points per game. These were all recorded after the season, so the playoff games did not count there. Kyler Murray had 19.8 last year. Lamar Jackson had 20, so a very similar season between the two guys. Dalvin Cook at 15.8, exactly the same as the number one running back last year, Christian McCaffrey, for my team there. Horn Dogs were represented by Kyler Murray before. Derrick Henry on Bites His Badgers at 12.2 points per game. Last year's number two running back at 12.4 for a slight regression there. Tyreek Hill was the number one receiver in points. He played more games than the next guy. 11.8 points per game from Bernie's Bruisers, way more than last year's number one receiver of Chris Godwin with 9.6 points per game. Next up is the number two receiver in points, but number one in points per game in Devontae Adams with 13.3 from Team Price is Right. Last year's number two receiver only had 8.8, and that was Michael Thomas with his historic year. Would have been a lot better. It was a PPR league, but it wasn't. And then the next one, wide receiver 3, was DK Metcalf with 9.4 points per game. Last year's number 3 was Kenny Golladay with 8.7. Myself's Chris Cardinals. DK Metcalf was number 3, although Adam Thielen at the time had 10, but he missed a game, which is why Metcalf came in over him. But Thielen also had an extraordinary year there. And then the Flex Player of the Year from, In Rogers We Trust, Alvin Kamara had 11.6 points per game. Similar to last year's Flex of the Year, Derrick Henry, 11.9 points per game. Next up, then we had the Kicker of the Year, Younghoe Koo, who had 10.8 points per game, better than last year's. Will Lutz and Harrison Butker, 10.4. So Team Price is Right represented there with Younghoe Koo. And then finally, the Defense of the Year, very close this year. Tim had both number 1 and 2 defenses, Indianapolis and Pittsburgh. They had 9.3, exactly the same as last year's. Actually, I'm pretty sure this was wrong. I think I missed that one, and I don't think Indianapolis had 9.3. The New England defense last year was historically good, and they did have that 9.3. But, pretty sure I typed that one in wrong. Let me see exactly what it is here from Mr. Price on that one. So we had that. A little bit of a setback here. The team Colts defense averaged on the year about 8.1. So I apologize for that. I'm going to fire an intern for that one, for screwing that up, putting the show together. Left be fired. Fired. Evelyn's gone. Evelyn's gone for putting the show together. She had a typo. She's gone. Anyway, back to the end of the show. Wildcard battles next week. Team Price is Right taking on the 3 seed Bites Badgers, and the 1 seed Chris's Cardinals taking on Dr. Dangerous. And also, what humiliation awaits the loser, the Sasquatches and Gargoyles, from their Toilet Bowl game coming up. A 2-week battle here. So in case there's one fluke, one guy won't have to do the embarrassment. If you go to the main page of the league, please vote on there. I put it up last week, so the Minotaurs and Horn Dogs are both listed. But we'll see here who you would like to see get the punishment. So thank you for tuning in. It was a kind of a short show this week. We will now get back next week, and it'll be the fantasy honors, so the MVP and all the other things like that. So thank you for tuning in, and we will see you again next week for the second to last episode of the season. Thank you.